Welcome to this live video. Welcome to the video all about how to go from upper intermediate to advanced English and how you can unlock exciting international legal opportunities. Very happy to be back on this new series for the LinkedIn Live video series, always helping legal professionals to show up with confidence to your work in English, with more fluent English, showing up with more confidence and being ready to embrace new opportunities in English with clients and colleagues internationally. So I'm going to be doing this video for about 20 minutes, and I'm going to be sharing my screen to go through a few points with you and explain to you what I do with my clients as well, how I help my clients achieve these results. And maybe we could start by asking the question, what exactly is upper intermediate and advanced? What is the difference in English between somebody who speaks at these levels? So let me just share my screen now. I'm going to share my screen if I can. Okay. So I now share, present, that's it. I'm going to share, oops. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen, and I'm going to go here in the corner so you can see a bit more. So basically, the difference between upper intermediate and advanced, and I'm just going to, yeah. So yes, the difference between upper intermediate and advanced English, there are quite a few differences. And if you can see my screen, I don't know, it's a little bit blurred, but I'm going to read, all of these skills. You have listening, reading, speaking, and writing. The first two, listening and reading, are the passive skills. And you can see that there is a difference in understanding between B2 and C1. In B2, in terms of the idioms, that can influence a person's ability to understand. So they may have difficulty understanding, TV, movies, things like that, because of the expressions and idioms. But when you get to a C1 level, you can really understand and follow complex topics. You may still need to confirm details. It's definitely not perfect, but you can understand a lot of things. You have a wider vocabulary and can understand a passive knowledge of a lot of expressions. You mightn't be able to use them yourself, but you have a passive knowledge, and so you can understand really well. Then we go on to reading, and again, this is talking about idioms that B2 levels may still struggle to understand with idioms. But when you get to a C1 level, you can understand in detail, lengthy, complex texts, and you may need to reread things. Again, it's not always perfect, but you can understand a lot more. When we go to speaking, you can, at a B2 level, interact with a degree of fluency and spontaneity that makes regular interaction. But with the C1, you could express yourself fluently and spontaneously. So at this C1 level, you're really feeling that fluency, that ease. You're not searching for your words as much as you would be in B2 level. And then for writing, you can express news and views effectively in writing at B2 level. And in the C1 level, you can express yourself with clarity and precision. So you're getting to that near native fluency at this level, C1. C1 is advanced. C2 is basically, more near native. It's bilingual. So that is a level that is, the upper level of the language levels. Another thing to bear in mind about going at the higher levels, basically, is that progress feels a lot more slow at these levels. So that's definitely something to bear in mind. And so it can be easy to feel demotivated when we feel like we're not making a lot of progress, but we are. In actual fact, we usually are. We're sometimes missing direction. We don't have a plan. We don't have a clear plan, and we're hoping that we can, over time, it will just you will just improve like that. But uh, I'm going to look at some tips now to show you on really how to improve. Like you do need you definitely need a plan, and that's going to help you a lot. Because what I find with this level, B2, C1 level, is that often clients come to me, and I feel this myself as I speak in French. Often you will feel stuck at this level and you don't know what to do to improve. So having a plan in place is very important, and that's what I work with my clients. So let's go to the next slide, and just to explain, these are my main tips for how to go from upper intermediate to advanced. Just overarching, and I'm going to talk about it a bit more. So the first point I'm saying here is to take responsibility for your learning and learn from the polyglots, and imagine you're training for a marathon race. So let me explain. So I'm going to actually stop sharing for a moment and talk to you about that first point. So taking responsibility for your learning, it's really important at this level, B2, C1, because a lot of the learning, a lot of the improvement you're going to do yourself by the input you have from the reading and from the listening, and then over time, producing that language through speaking and writing, getting feedback on your English and improving in that way. So it's really important that at this level you take responsibility for your learning, that you're not waiting for you to sign up to some English class, or waiting for permission to speak to native speakers so you can have a conversation. You should be actively practicing your English on a regular basis. Don't wait for other people to tell you what to do, basically. Although, of course, it can be helpful when you have a plan, when you have a coach and somebody to help you. But yeah, so in terms of a polyglot who speaks a lot of languages, there are a few polyglots that I follow on YouTube, and I found their tips really helpful. They really know what they're doing. They've learned several languages, and usually these polyglots, they are learning in their free time. So that makes it very, very interesting how the process of learning as an adult, learning multiple languages. So they definitely have a lot of techniques and strategies that we could definitely learn from them as polyglots. Another tip is treating this like a marathon race where you're preparing to run, 26 miles? I don't know how many kilometers that is. But it's a marathon, and a marathon takes time to prepare. When you run a marathon as well, you're running, you have to run at a steady pace. Slow and steady wins the race. So it's the same with your practicing English, speaking it. You can't just prepare 1 week before if you want to get to a certain level by a certain period. You need to start today, and you need to start training today on a regular basis throughout the week, training your English. So that's the first point. And the second point, and let me share my screen again. Yeah, the second point is being curious. Now, this is such an important part of learning a language. And I think, you probably already have this degree of curiosity as a legal professional. You're very educated. You're very good at what you do. But just being curious and asking questions about the language, is this the same word or similar in your language? Is this word actually a completely different meaning? It might be a false friend. How can I connect this word to something I already know so that I can remember it for the next time? How can I memorize vocabulary? Being curious about your learning and improving that all the time is very helpful. And the third point is look for opportunities, not more time, to practice your English. This is so important. We're all really busy. As a legal professional, I know you're extremely busy, but I know how important learning English or improving your English fluency is, that you want to get to that advanced level so you really feel at ease communicating with clients and colleagues. But it's so important to look out for those opportunities, those parts of your day where you can squeeze in, you can fit in that English, listening to the radio in the car, singing along to songs as you get ready for work, whatever it is. Squeezing in those opportunities is going to help a lot. And I want to show you in the next slide something very interesting. This is an infographic from a book, Atomic Habits. I don't know, has anybody read this book? It's an excellent book in terms of, anything we want to do, anything we want to do, any skill we want to improve. It definitely involves habit building. And so this idea of improving 1% every single day, instead of staying steady, staying stuck, or even regressing, even getting worse every day. You're improving in small increments, 1% every day. And not very good with numbers myself. It's not really my area of expertise, but they're saying here that imagine the effect of small habits. They really compound over time. And so, for example, if you can get just 1% better each day, you'll end up with results that are nearly 37 times better after 1 year. Imagine being 37 times better with your English after 1 year, or even after 6 months. Divide 37 into 2. That's about 18, is it? 18 times. So, aiming every day for that 1%, I think that's a really good way to look at it as well. When you're feeling stuck and a bit demotivated, just aiming to do whatever you can, practicing ideally the active and the passive skills together. It's going to really help you a lot. So, bear that in mind. Now, I'm going to show you now in the next slide how to get started to go from upper intermediate to advanced English. So some of this is what I work with my clients. So the first thing really is to get clarity on what areas of English you need to focus on for your job as a legal professional, because there's so many different types of English, there's so many different types of vocabulary, and it's not all going to be useful for you. So it's really important to be focused on that. And working with a coach, working with someone else can help you with that. That's what I do in my programs. And assessing the student and their objectives, not just their actual English level, but their objectives, what they really want out of what the program when I'm working with my clients. It makes all the difference, because having a clear and focused plan will help you to reach your goal. And then getting started with a personalized Fluent English Lawyer Success Plan. This is what I have in my programs, but you could have your own study plan as well. A study plan for your English language learning. You could probably find information about study plans on YouTube as well if you wanted. And this will help to address your language weaknesses and give you action steps on how to improve. This is really important, looking at your particular language weaknesses, whether you do some kind of level test, you get some feedback on your English from a professional teacher or coach, and then giving clear action steps on how to get from B2 to C1, from upper intermediate to advanced. The next thing to get started that would help you is to establish a 15-minute daily learning routine that you can fit into your lunch break or your train ride or whatever. And this goes back to the idea of getting 1% better every day. So making it manageable for you, finding those opportunities, not trying to find more time, but finding those opportunities in your day is going to help a lot. Okay, so now I just want to show you my 4-step English fluency framework, which helps to unlock your international career. This is, as you can see, there are 4 basically speaking parts. On the right, it starts with speaking confidence, and that's establishing your fluency goals and starting that study plan, the Fluent English Lawyer study plan. So really assessing everything, establishing those goals, and also learning about how to learning about how to memorize vocabulary, how to study better. That's going to give you that initial confidence and continue to give you the confidence as you study and as you self-study throughout your learning journey. It's going to give you that confidence, because the confidence comes from, what is confidence? I think there are a lot of definitions of confidence, but speaking confidence, it's the willingness to try. I like this definition. The willingness to try, that you are not afraid of speaking, that you are not afraid of trying even when you don't know everything, where you may be searching for your words. So having a habit, having a goal of getting 1% better every day is going to give you that confidence, because you know that you're working on your English, you know that you're reading relevant things, you're listening to relevant things. And just to tell you a little bit more about the study plan, I don't have the information in front of you, but basically the study plan is a bit like, you're again training for a marathon. And so you have 10 minutes listening today and then 5-minute writing. So like a 15-minute plan where you're listening to some interesting video about legal English or also general English to practice that side of things, more informal English. And then you're producing something, you're writing, you're speaking about it, helping to activate both those sides, the passive skill and the active skill. So that is the plan, a bit like, imagine you're doing four exercise sessions a week. It's really like that in the plan. So you're learning new vocabulary all the time, you're listening to relevant content, and then you're producing it, you're making summaries, you're engaging with that content. So that's going to give you that confidence to be able to speak. And then in terms of speaking fluency, it's all about learning and practicing for the legal professional, informal, professional, and legal vocabulary. So you have the right words in every situation. It's so important to have a balanced approach, because for lawyers, you don't just need legal English, you also need the other skills. That's what I hear from all of my clients. It's not just about focusing on the industry and legal English, because sometimes you're quite comfortable with this area about talking about your work. Sometimes it's actually more difficult to speak in an informal situation. So that's why it's important to get a balance of all of these types of vocabulary. Then speaking clarity, this is a really interesting one. And I think something that is not always focused on when we learn English. It's all about the pronunciation and improving your pronunciation, improving your accent as well, but mainly focusing on the pronunciation. And also being able to better understand native English speakers when they speak, because that can be a source of frustration for some of my clients who don't understand when their native speakers speak this fast English, fast informal English. So there are some really some of my techniques, some of my secrets that I share with my clients. I do it in this part, the speaking clarity. But definitely it's an area that I would focus on if I was wanting to improve to the advanced level, where I could really understand people when they spoke much more in detail, and also be able to pronounce and to speak more naturally as well. And finally, speaking skills is about gaining the essential communication skills to feel confident in all the challenging meetings, presentations, job interviews. So these kind of skills, these kind of expressions, linking words, techniques and strategies to communicate well. It's really important. So that's also included in helping you to up level and to get to that advanced level in English. Okay, so we're here at 20 minutes. I did say it was going to be about 20 minutes. So that is really, we're coming to an end here. But I just wanted to show you the 2 ways how I can help you at the moment. You can find more information on my website, but basically I have one service, which is the Fluent English Lawyer Success Roadmap. This is a coaching experience which is designed to help your English and develop a personalized plan, a 21-day English fluency success plan, a roadmap, so you can move from stuck to fluent and in your English communication as a legal professional. So it's going to help you get out of that stuck state, and it's a shorter program, but it's very, very valuable, especially when you do feel completely lost and you really want you to take that next step to get to that next level. You know, giving you that roadmap, just pointing you in the direction of where you need to go is very helpful. So that's my first service. And then my second service, if you wanted more support over 12 weeks, is the Fluent English Lawyer Accelerator. It's an individual online coaching program, and it's designed to help you speak English fluently so you can unlock your dream international legal career. And in this accelerator, we have the 4 steps to English fluency. We go through all those 4 steps that I showed you: speaking confidence, speaking fluency, speaking clarity, and speaking skills. As well as other things like grammar, improving your grammar, getting ongoing feedback, having a level test as well. So there's just a lot of support in there to get you to where you want to go if you really want that intense program, and to really accelerate your progress and get to the advanced level of fluency. So that is all. And if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. If you want to put them in the comments. Also sign up for my newsletter, where I share more information, maybe things about what I discussed there, more links, things about polyglots or the different strategies and techniques that I've mentioned here. I do go into more detail in my newsletter, so definitely sign up to that. You can find details on my website as well. And thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to stop sharing this. Yeah, thank you so much for watching today. It's great to begin this series. Look out for the next one next week, and talk to you in the next one. Bye.